bang in my ass. I take this first ball, place it in my hand. This second ball goes in my ass. Give a little tap. Wapa, teleportation.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Monday, February 13th, 2023. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Happy Valentine's Eve, everybody.
Next to Tassie, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o!
Hey-yo! And last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Chat away. Get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. We dropped a new jersey on Friday. A little jazz-inspired jersey there. Only 12 are left. Mm-hmm. 1 large, 8 extra larges, 3 double XLs. All right? That's it. So thanks to everybody that picked one up. We really, really appreciate that. Those went quick, and there's a reason why. Look at those bad boys.
And if you have a smaller bod, you can just sew the big ones. You know what I mean? You can buy a double X and sew it. Like you're a small man, Skeets. Mm-hmm. Small, medium, I guess.
How would I sew it? What do you mean?
Tailor it.
Yeah, okay, that's what you're like. Okay, tailor it. I didn't really understand what you meant. But make it short? I don't know about that. I wouldn't do that.
No. Less wide.
How? You're going to bring it in? I'm not sure you're going to be able to bring it in. Trust me. No. Let me be the expert on this. A man that's bought many pieces of clothing way too big.
What do you think tailors do? Make it bigger?
I'm not tailoring a jersey, though.
Well, that's up to you.
But what I would do, buy a bigger size, put a hoodie underneath that. Rock that.
Yes.
Why not? Anyway, only 12 left. Probably gone by now. We got tickets, though, for our live show this Friday. We are going to Salt Lake City later this week to do a live show for the first time in 3 years. If you're in the area or you're coming for All-Star Weekend, come hang. Get a ticket. The link is in the show notes. February 17th at 8 p.m. local time there at the Urban Lounge. A few VIP meet and greet packages available if you want to hang out with us an hour before the show and then have preferred seating. But can't wait to see everybody in Salt Lake City. It's going to be a blast. And after you're done with today's classic here, why not check out the brand new episode of Is This Good? Comedian Lace Larrabee, who recently went on quite the run on America's Got Talent. Very funny woman. She joins Matteo and JD to discuss, among other things, telling a family member you hate their cooking. Is that good? Bachelorette parties on a cruise. I think Lace can speak from experience on that one. And also the worst Valentine's Day gifts of all time. Very topical here with Valentine's Day tomorrow. So check that out. Is This Good? It's on YouTube. It's got its own podcast feed. Haven't had a chance to
me neither.
I know it goes up very, very early on a Monday morning. I saw some people in the YouTube notes, JD, say they stay up all night for it to drop.
Oh.
To then enjoy and find out what is good and what is not.
Wow. That's respect.
Yeah.
But also, it's not going anywhere. It'll be there when you wake up. That's why we do it so late.
Yeah, but maybe it's nice to be the first person to know whether something's good or not.
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into winners and losers of the NBA weekend. We'll talk a little Super Bowl in a bit, but we did have a wedgie on Friday night, number 34 on the season. It was a rare one. Drew Holiday with the fadeaway bounce wedgie. Yeah, I mean, it happens every once in a while.
Wow.
Look at Terrence Mann. I think he was trying to jam it in further, like jokingly, as he was swiping at it there.
Looks like it.
Yeah, I think so. So good stuff there. A rare bounce wedgie from Drew Holiday. Terrence Mann with the funnies after, trying to jam it in even more. We got 34 on the year as we hit, later this week, the All-Star break. But it's not the halfway point,
2/3
It's like
point.
25 games left. Yeah, wild. Okay, winners of the NBA weekend. Task, get us started. Who you got?
The Dallas Mavericks. Things are going well in the post-Kyrie era, and not only for the team, but also for fans, for us. Mm-hmm. I think it's a little bit more varied. It's a little bit more fun watching the Dallas Mavericks. It's not just Luka and all the boys. It's more enjoyable. Kyrie now has played 3 games. He has fit in well. They won the first 2. And in Luka's absence, because Luka was out those first 2, they showed they can play a different way, faster, a little bit more variety. Not just Luka bringing up the ball in a James Harden type style. It's fun. It's literally fun to watch them. So Kyrie looks great. And I think the supporting cast also looks great. But let's just go to Saturday when Luka came in with Kyrie for their first game together. It was the second game of a back-to-back with the Sacramento Kings, and they lost because Luka's just wasn't in game shape. That's what I think. I think they could have won this game. He had a game-tying attempt at the end of OT after not scoring since the third quarter, and he went back to his old Luka style. I'm just going to get the ball after I curl in, grab that inbound, and fade away. And he said after the game, I messed up. I shouldn't have shot that thing. I should have given it to Kai. And he's right. He should have given it to Kai. Kyrie was balling. But in Luka's defense, Kyrie Irving is the best player he's ever played with. This is new for him. And they should have won 4 straight. They had won 3 straight going into that game. But in the end, they finished with a 5-game road trip, 3-2. And they're just scratching the surface to see what they can do. They've only played 1 game together these next couple games before the All-Star game. It's going to give them a little bit of a blank slate, trying to understand what they can do together. There were no Doncic Irving pick and rolls out there. I mean, they've got lots to work towards. Will it work? And will it be fruitful for this season? Who knows? Will it be fruitful next season? I don't know. I'm just happy to see a little bit more variance in their game and their supporting players really stepping up.
Josh Green.
He's been amazing.
Yeah.
He is, in his last 5 games, he's playing 37 minutes and 17 points per game in those 37 minutes per game on a ridiculous true shooting percentage of 70%. They put a lot of stock into this guy. Good thing they didn't trade him earlier this season when there was a Kuzma deal on this table. Josh Green plus another part for Kyle Kuzma because they wanted another star, but Josh Green stepping into that role. He's going to be beside Kyrie and Luka no matter what. Reggie Bullock probably also going to be beside them in the starting lineup. He's hitting some shots. And Dwight Powell has been beasting in that center spot. He has been really, really good, playing really well defensively in their 3 wins that they had going to that Sacramento win. The center on the opposing team was only averaging 13 and 10, whether it was Sabonis or Zubats or Kessler. So they're playing well. JaVale McGee's even looking better, fine as a backup. He's been playable for the first time this season. Terrence Ross said, no, I'm not coming there. He's going to be waived by the Orlando Magic, and it's likely that he's going to go to Phoenix instead of Dallas, where he was reportedly going to go first. And they need some supporting cast help, but Tim Hardaway is probably the Terrence Ross on that team anyway. So
they already got it, Terrence.
Yeah, TBD on this team and where they'll go. But luckily for the Kings, they didn't lose that game on Saturday and get swept by the Mavs in a 2-game set because they would have been in a virtual tie for 3rd in the West. So that's would have been a little scary for the Kings.
We'll get to why
Promising.
they didn't lose on Saturday in a second here.
Yeah, sure.
De'Aaron Fox was clutch.
Picking on Powell a little bit, I did think.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen. And the Mavericks have looked awesome since Kyrie Irving started. I did think it was very cute, actually, that Luka's basically like, man, I forgot I can pass to somebody now. He had nobody he trusted on this Mavericks team, and he's never played with anybody who's as reliable as a clutch time scorer as Kyrie Irving. So as they get some more reps underneath their waistbands together, surely Kyrie will hit a game-winning shot or a game-tying shot off a Luka pass, and we'll be all that come rewinding back to this game. Like, look, he passed it to him now. The game has changed. Josh Green, like you guys are saying, this is awesome for the Mavericks. You can see why they were comfortable trading Dorian Finney-Smith. Josh Green can give them similar defense, but then he's just a much more versatile player offensively. 7 assists in the win against the Kings, and then, just 1 assist, but making plays all over the court for the Mavericks, whereas DFS, he's just standing and waiting for threes. So they've unleashed him a little bit here. There's more playmaking on the court in general for Dallas, and Luka is going to learn he doesn't have to do everything going forward for this Mavericks team. So great start, no doubt, with Kyrie in town.
And it's just a fun watch because Josh Green is a little herky-jerky. He's got the when he's shaking guys, he just looks pretty different than a lot of NBA players. So just sitting from the couch where we watch a lot of NBA basketball, I like the fact that everybody getting involved, and Josh is he's a different kind of cat with those sidestepping Euro steps and getting into the lane, getting the floater going. He's got an offensive game. Are they small 1 through 3? Yeah, Luka is a large man, but to have a small forward in Josh Green who's only 6'5", it's going to be an issue going forward. But their offense looks great, and it's true. Luka's been playing with men since he was 13, 14, or whatever, but not with the capabilities of Kyrie.
Yeah.
He played with Dirk in his last season. He played with Kristaps, who was even post-injury Kristaps. He played with Jalen Brunson, but nothing like Kyrie.
Mm-hmm. Who you got for a win of the weekend, TK?
Oh, definitely the Boston Celtics. Won 2 games over the weekend. They beat the Hornets on Friday, the Grizzlies yesterday before the Super Bowl, and they basically did it the exact same way. Boston went 25 for 55 from 3 against the Hornets. That's 45%. Against the Grizzlies, they went 21 of 51, 41% from 3. 11 times this season, they've hit 20 or more threes. No surprise. 11-0 when they make 20 or more threes. It was a who's who of Beantown boys who were hitting all weekend long. Friday night, Jason Tatum, 41 points, 5 threes. But I think the star of the night was Derek White, a career-high 8 threes for him. Sam Hauser hit 4 threes. He's shooting the lights out right now on Sunday. More of the same, 6 threes for Sam Hauser, 10 of 20 over the weekend. That'll do. 4 more threes for Derek White, 4 for Al Horford, 4 threes for Peyton Pritchard, who would have been happy to be traded on Thursday, but just steps in, hits 4 threes. The one name I haven't mentioned yet, Mike Muscala.
Magic Mike.
4 of 8 from 3 in his Boston debut on Friday, 2 of 5 on Sunday. Rewind to the trade deadline. I didn't have a take on Mike Muscala. No takes. The guy was a bench big for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah, sure, he could shoot then. Would he be able to shoot in Boston? Apparently, yes. I've seen him. I've heard from Boston fans. Maybe he's the missing piece.
Oh, wow.
Maybe he's the special sauce wearing number 57 out there. At the very least, you're getting less Blake Griffin. You're getting less Luke Cornett, though it was hilarious to see Cornett and Muscala on the court together with Peyton Pritchard. Got to be Boston's favorite lineup, but this is a deep, deep team with shooters. They won this weekend. No Jaylen Brown, no Marcus Smart, no Malcolm Brogdon. Horford didn't play on Friday. So Hauser, Pritchard, Muscala, they stepped up, hit a ton of threes. The vibes are great. They're the first team in the league to 40-plus wins. They had a down shooting month basically in January, and now they're on fire once again, looking like the best team in the Eastern Conference.
And they win a game there, on Super Bowl Sunday there, that marquee game, I guess, on ABC, with Tatum going 3 of 16 because of all these other guys stepping up too. That's huge. Against a good Grizzlies team, obviously. Most of the time, your star player goes 3 of 16, you're going to be struggling to win the game or losing it outright, especially when you're missing a bunch of other guys, and they win going away. Pretty wild.
Yeah, Derek White, I think, was a huge part of that. 56 points through those 2 games. Balling 33 and 23. You can trust him as somewhat of a lead guard with Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart out. He was huge, and everybody else, can step off the bench and stretch the floor. So it just creates that space. They can go big, with a Robbie Williams at center, or they can go small and give you the Moose at center, who can stretch it out, and he can put it on the floor a little bit. He's a very capable player, and so he was hiding in the woodwork in OKC, but he can score.
But Thunder fans, they couldn't stop talking about the impact he was having on them winning. When it was you saw the plus minus stats going around when he was out on the floor. Their offensive rating was through the roof, being that stretch 5. And then when he was on the bench, it was a lot different. So yeah. Schleck knew, Thunder fans knew, the Moose is important, and so far so good there.
Yeah, he can't play. He's a little slow defensively. There's no doubt. Yeah. You'd rather play a Luke defensively, but when you're such a great defensive team, you got one little hole. It's easier to cover up.
Yeah. All right, my winner of the weekend. We already sort of teased it. De'Aaron Fox. Okay, first off, obvious reason. On Friday, De'Aaron Fox, along with Anthony Edwards and Pascal Siakam, were added to the NBA All-Star Game as injury replacements. Star Fox's first All-Star selection here. Obviously deserving. The guy's averaging basically 25 points per game, over 6 assists, career high 4.3 rebounds. And the Kings are the third seed, in the Western Conference. So it's on a winning team. These aren't just pointless stats here, empty stats. So congrats to Fox, Ant, and Spicy P there. But the other reason for Fox getting a winner of the weekend, you talked about the Mavs and Kings playing 2 very entertaining games over the weekend. I mean, nobody would be upset if this was a playoff matchup, a 4-5 matchup, something like that, 3-6, I guess, a possibility, because they're fun to watch. Fox, awesome in both. They lose that first game, but he is the number one reason why they win the second game. He averaged 34.5 points per game on 56% shooting over the weekend, though. And in that Saturday win, he scored 26 of his points in the fourth quarter and overtime. Every single point from Fox in that game was like a jumper from the elbow, a floater in the lane, or like a dunk in transition because he picked up a nice steal. He had a really, really good one late there to punch it home. He is the king of clutch right now, though, De'Aaron Fox. I know we talked about, is SGA going to win that first ever clutch award that we'll be giving out? The weird vase at the end of the year to somebody? The Jerry West. It might. I think maybe Fox is in the front position. What am I trying to say?
Pole position, the running
That's what I'm
lead.
trying to say. Pole position. I drove by Talladega when I was going to my race in Birmingham. That's just a car thought I had in my head. But anyway, De'Aaron Fox.
Car thoughts.
De'Aaron Fox, king of the clutch. He has scored 148 points in the final minutes of regulation or overtime when the score is within 5 points. Jalen Brunson, second in the league, 125. So we're talking nearly 25 points more than Jalen. During that clutch window, Fox is shooting 59% from the field. He's made 29 to 33 free throws, which was instrumental in that win over the Mavericks there in that second game. He's got 12 assists, 11 boards, 5 steals, and is a plus 24. Again, that's all in the clutch. Guy is awesome. And I love to see it because one of the knocks on him was, late game execution. Not the best. I'm talking about years prior, and you would hear it from some people. But he has put that to bed. He's been awesome, and I'm happy he's an all-star. And that win was big. It's built a full 2-game lead over the Mavs for third in the Western Conference. Star Fox, winner of the weekend.
I knew he was getting winner of the weekend when he was named an all-star reserve, and then I saw Saturday night's game. I was like, I'll just save this one for Skeetsy. Guaranteed he's talking about him. But this is the concern if you're the Mavericks. They made 23s that game. They shot 51% from the field, and they still gave up a whopping 133 points to the Kings, who the Kings are an incredible offense, but Mavericks are going to have games where they give up a whole bunch of points. Only 7 turnovers on the night for the Kings as well. Dallas has to force turnovers to have some sort of a defense, and if they don't, they got nobody who can guard a guard. So that's why it had to be Fox on this night. And he's able to do it now that his jumper is good enough and he's relentless getting to the hoop.
That's definitely the Mavs' worry. The little boys, their backcourt is going to struggle a little bit
to contain guys.
That's a lot to ask of those two guys. That's going to be an issue going forward. There's no doubt.
All right, who do you got? Let's do another round. Winner of the weekend.
But let's go with the Brooklyn Nets because they got their team back from prior to the super team era. It just feels like that old Kenny Atkinson team. If you remember that team, it went 42-40, where their fan base was just in love with a team that really, really, really worked hard. It was a guys being dudes team. Back then, it was Jared Allen, Spencer Dinwiddie, even D'Angelo Russell, Karis LeVert. I think that they should be able to just eliminate the last few years from their basketball reference page. Just eliminate it. It's gone. Who cares? It was a bad run, but they must feel extremely good going forward here. As your fan base, they obviously had to deal 3 superstars, and they traded, or they faced one of their old ones on Saturday. They played James Harden and the Philadelphia 76ers with Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson making their debut. And they're starting those 2 guys along with Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, the 4 guys they got last week in exchange for Durant and Kyrie Irving. And after the game, James Harden said, well, there was a lot of dysfunction. I guess I'm not the crazy one here. Everybody wanted
I was the smart one. I got out first.
Yeah, and it ended how you would expect a game to end with those guys. They were leading by 9 midway through the fourth, and then they couldn't score the rest of the way. They only had 1 basket the last 6.5 minutes. And Mikal Bridges, who people are hoping can grow into a more prominent offensive role, be a number 1 guy, he had a chance to put them up with 2 seconds left, but he missed the layup, and they lost by 3. Spencer Dinwiddie tied it at the buzzer, or did he? It was just a little bit late. Yeah. So it was a super close game, but that's exactly what you think of this team. They don't have the offensive punch now that they traded Durant and Irving. And Mikal Bridges, again, hopes he can be that guy, but he understands and is totally comfortable with being traded for Kevin Durant. He was asked about it this weekend. He said, it was for KD. I understand. I do the same thing. Smart kid. And unfortunately, his Ironman streak, just to confirm, because there was a lot of conversation out there. He had played 365 straight games. What happens if he gets dealt and he has to sit out? And he did. I mean, he was technically cleared to play for the game against the Bulls, but he just wasn't there in enough time.
Sure.
So they didn't play him. So if they had given clearance to the trade after the game, and he technically wasn't a member of the Brooklyn Nets, then he wouldn't have missed a game. But he missed that game because he was cleared. So the streak is snapped.
Oh.
It sucks. And it's weird because he could play in 83 games this season. More than 82 just because of the schedules of the Nets and the Suns, and he's still going to miss a game. So there it goes. It's gone. But he's got a great chance, and Nets fans are going to hope that he could, grow into something. This is his opportunity to grow into something, and they've got a team that they can cheer for. So everybody's got to be pretty happy, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess we could slip the Sixers in for a winner of the weekend too, getting the win there over the new Nets, and they took care of the Knicks, so beating both New York teams, trying to stay at the top of that conference and trying to stay in the race there with Boston and Milwaukee, just to show them a little love. But yeah, this is just the Nets back to the old Kenny Atkinson Nets.
Yeah, the worst Nets.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, that's where I'm even like, okay, maybe they're going to be more enjoyable to cheer on and root for and all that, but they're not winning a title.
Yeah,
And you are
neither did the other team, though.
Nope, you're right.
Also true.
And you're right. And they only
Win
won
one
playoff
series and you're right there.
Yeah, that's true. So, all right. So a little love to the Brooklyn Nets and their new guys, and we had a lot of debuts, obviously, for new guys on new teams. I thought a lot of them played pretty well. Josh Hart, even for the Knicks, played well in his first game. Where are you going for another winner of the weekend?
We had a huge week in the NBA last week. We had the Kyrie trade on Sunday. LeBron broke the all-time scoring record, which feels like a million years ago already at this point. Then obviously the trade deadline could have been the wildest week in literally league history. Not a lot of Bucks buzz, though. They got Jay Crowder and just won a ton of games. Beat the Clippers on Friday, and now the Bucks have won 10 straight games.
I know.
They had a 9-game win streak to start the season, a 10-game win streak right now. Drew Holiday, after the game, said there's a point in the season where things get repetitive, and winning has been. Like, they're just bored winning all these games. No Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers. No Chris Middleton for the Bucks. No Jay Crowder yet. Just standard Giannis domination. 35 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 10 points in the fourth quarter as the Bucks really ran away with things here. Milwaukee hit 17 threes. They completely dominated the glass against a pretty small Clippers team. Not a total surprise there, but an easy win for the Bucks. It ended up being in the fourth quarter because Giannis really turned it on. But it's Bucks Celtics on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
That's a game to watch with your loved one on Valentine's Day. Maybe get him a green heart-shaped headband.
A green heart.
A green heart.
Like the whole headband is a heart?
Okay, so that it would have a heart just on the front.
There you go.
Green
replace
headband.
the NBA, white, any color headband with a green heart on it.
Oh, okay.
To watch
heart.
Bucks Celtics on Tuesday because that is the game of the week. It's got to be, absolutely. We got the Celtics are playing incredibly well right now. They've won 7 of 8. And then the Bucks have won 10 straight and are flying under the radar while doing so. They're happy though. Don't mention it.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you can talk about any other team and the Bucks will just be there in the end.
That's why I mentioned it was Valentine's Day Eve at the beginning of the show, just to remind people, get your stuff done. Go get your
headband.
Go get your headband. Sew a heart. Go buy a No Dunks jersey. Sew the sides in.
Yeah.
So take care of your business. Take care of your business before it's too late.
Do you think the game tomorrow night, though, loses a little shine because of probably players missing, especially on the Celtics side of things? With Jaylen Brown, especially.
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Middleton is playing. Is he? He's good to go, I assume. But
yeah, he. It was such a big week. We barely talked about Jaylen Brown breaking a bone in his face, and
he's still going to try and play in the All-Star game because they haven't named a replacement for him.
And he has been out on the court practicing from the footage I've been seeing.
He said it's been fun picking out his mask.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they're not that exciting.
I thought they didn't give you many options anymore either.
You want the clear one or the clear one?
Yeah, right. Maybe they're different molds.
It would be fun, though.
How they sit.
Probably the molding process is enjoyable, I would have to imagine.
I don't know about
but
that.
Yeah, I think Middleton will be playing. I think it was a rest game over the weekend for him. So, should be exciting.
Valentine's Day.
Those are your 2 best teams in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Denver Nuggets fans say, "What about us?"
Yeah. They can keep saying it.
They're third?
I'll get a text message afterward. Denver is probably third. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, them or Philly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's give the Miami Heat a winner of the weekend because they picked up 2 really weird wins. But their wins are wins. They keep pacing the East standings, too. Friday night, Gabe Vincent throws an alley-oop inbounds pass to Jimmy Butler for a dunk with like 0.3 seconds remaining to give the Heat the 2-point win over the Rockets. We learned after the play was drawn up by the medicine man himself, Chris Quinn. Yeah, Chris Quinn came up with this play during a Heat scrimmage at the NBA bubble, like at the start of the bubble in 2020. Spoelstra's just been sitting on it for years. They finally pull it out, and the play did create a lot of confusion. I mean, it was the Rockets too. They're like, are we switching? Are we not? And Jimmy's wide open at the rim. Good pass from Vincent. He dunks it. They win. And then on Saturday, the Heat beat another not great team, but the Orlando Magic, 107-103 in overtime. Orlando was going to win this game. They were up by 9 with 2.5 minutes to go, and then Miami shut the water off. Bam was instrumental defensively down the stretch. He had 13, 17, and 6, but the centerpiece of their effort on the defensive end. They held the Magic to 24 points in the final 17 minutes of game action. And Miami, they just pull out these 2 wins, again, not against great teams, so you could push back and go, are these all that inspiring? No, but they have played in a league-leading 40 clutch games this season. Those games, again, clutch, meaning, within 5 points at the end of regulation or even then, of course, into overtime. 40! They have played so many, nail-biters here that you, wonder, will that help them in a potential playoff series? Probably. When you get closer games and get into some of these wars, and you got Jimmy, of course, as your guy. Tyler Hero had some good games. Bam, defensively. Just weird that they pulled these off, and staying pace with, your Cavaliers, who they're trying to, chase down there, and the Knicks are coming up behind them and all that. So Miami Heat, a weird winner of the weekend because they beat the Rockets and Magic but that's what they do.
And a 5-point victory against the Pacers prior to that. So, yeah, I'm kind of on the this isn't that inspiring side of things, that you're having to scratch and claw out wins against some of the worst teams in the league like this. I think it would come in handy if they do meet up with a team like the Cavs in the playoffs who haven't gone through it together. I think Miami's experience then probably shines through, but if they're playing against an established team like the Bucks or the Celtics, you're like, this team isn't good enough to really be hanging with the top teams in the NBA.
Well, that's why these wins are very important then, no matter how you get them, because like you're saying, get to that 5th seed. They might be even too far back here from Cleveland, from having home court, but potential 4 or 5 matchup, I'm with you, Trey. I think a lot of people would be leaning towards Miami because of the experience. Maybe the Cavs having less experience outside of their guy Donovan there. Who knows? We can get to that when we get to it. But that's much more important than being 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever, and not being a favorite in any first round against those upper echelon teams. But man, they are a weird team, the Miami Heat. Every game you can turn it on and it's going to probably be close, which makes for entertaining basketball.
Yeah, I don't trust them. When it comes down to late game execution against good teams, there's just a little too much on Jimmy's shoulders, I think. And sure, they drew up a play that got Jimmy open, but he was just open. He went to the free throw line. Okay, I'm here. And then he just bolted for the to the rim. Weird defense by the Rockets. Just cover that guy.
Again, they had no idea, are we switching or are we not switching? They talked about it after the game. Yeah, what are we running defensively? Why don't you run the play where there's basically a second left where you take away the lob at the rim? You talk about it all the time, Trey. And no one was even close to him. I'll be honest, it wasn't even the greatest pass in the world from Gabe Vincent. Probably threw it a little too high. Jimmy showed off the hops there to put it down, but yeah, the Rockets, they're doing their best to stay in the tankathon race there. We got a 4-way race for that one, too, with the Spurs racking up losses, the Rockets, the Pistons, and then the Hornets. It's we'll see. We'll see who wins Wemby there in the end. Unless somebody gets very, very lucky. Hey, you'll be happy to know I hit the tankathon click this morning. The Bulls came up.
There we go.
Keeping your pick.
I just hit it now. The Bulls lost their pick.
Oh, there.
Yeah, but the Raptors got 3rd. So,
okay. Happy
each one.
Any other winners you guys want to slip in there before we take a break? And then get to losers after the jump? I said the Sixers, I think, are, those top teams, the Celtics, the Bucks, and the Sixers in the East are rolling.
We'll get to the Super Bowl talk, but LeBron getting the title for all-time scoring leader, and then going to the Super Bowl and able to put the fake crown on his head.
Oh, yeah.
It's good timing. Good timing to get the scoring title, and then you can throw that crown on.
Do you believe he's really injured right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was fine on the Tuesday to get the record?
Well, he's old.
Okay.
He's got ankle problems. I mean, they did imaging. I don't think they would just...
Came back fine.
Came back fine, yeah.
Okay, just curious.
I think I got LeBron personally on losers of the weekend. On my side, the guy got the scoring record and hasn't played since. been partying, been going to the Super Bowl. This is a team allegedly trying to make the playoffs.
I know.
Just pressured him into making a whole bunch of moves at the deadline. Shut it down as soon as he got the record. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll get into
Winner
that
of the
a little
weekend,
bit
though,
more.
I'll say Jay-Z. I love seeing him take pictures of his daughter, like grinning ear to ear, like just any old Instagram dad. Great stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take a break. Then we'll get to losers of the NBA weekend, and we will talk a little more Super Bowl. Don't go anywhere. We talk a lot of numbers on this show. You know, points and rebounds per game, true shooting percentages, PER, defensive rating, clutch scoring. Heck, our pick'em lines, really, when you think about it. Those are numbers. Lots of stats on this show. Well, I got one more for you. 52% of men over 40 experience some form of erectile dysfunction in their life. 52%. That's like, hold on here. Beep, bop, boop, bop, bop. That's more than half of men over 40 experiencing this. Crazy. The good news is, if you're experiencing ED, there's help. Roman is the digital health clinic for men. They offer genuine, FDA-approved medication for as little as $4 per dose. At Roman, no waiting rooms, no hassle. Just a straightforward, convenient, digital experience, which means you can take care of it all from the comfort of your home. Getting started, very simple. Grab your laptop, grab your phone, and start your free online visit. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan, and if medication is appropriate, Roman sends it to your door with free 2-day shipping, and everything arrives in a discreet package, so no problems there. And right now, Roman has a special offer for our listeners. Use this link to get 20% off your first order. Just go to ro.co/athletic today. That's ro.co/athletic for 20% off.
This classic podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. When you're at your best, you can do great things, but sometimes life gets you bogged down and you may feel overwhelmed or like you're not showing up in the way that you want to. Working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of you, because when you feel empowered, you're more prepared to take on everything life throws at you. It's helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. And therapy isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/nodunks today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/nodunks.
Okay, losers of the NBA weekend. Tass, why don't you get us started? Who you got?
Zion Williamson is going to miss several weeks after the All-Star weekend. We can't have nice things. He suffered a setback to his hamstring injury, which has kept him out since January 2nd, so it's going to be several weeks after the All-Star game. He's going to be out a couple months, so maybe he'll play in half the games this season when it comes down to it, something he's only been able to do once in his 4 seasons to this point. Hopefully he can do it for a second time. I mean, he's that good when he does play. This is his second All-Star appearance. This is what it was supposed to be, his second All-Star appearance. He obviously won't be playing, but his second All-Star nod. He was averaging 26 points per game. But the Pelicans, as much as they've tried to use their depth to shore things up, they've been struggling. 6-14 without him. A lot of that without Brandon Ingram. So Ingram's going to have a lot of heavy lifting to do as the team has dropped to 7th. And they just probably won't have Zion for, I know it's the several weeks is worrisome, because usually it's we will reevaluate after a couple weeks, play it by ear. That's what it was initially. He was fine when they checked on him sort of late January 24th, I believe it was. And now a setback to the hamstring. How can he stay in shape? So that's the worrisome part. You got to be running to be able to move out there. So several weeks into March, how long that lingers is a worry. This is a team that people thought could go deep into the postseason, and I think that was a rightful expectation with the way they gave the Suns a run for their money last year in the first round. You add Zion to that because he wasn't playing in all those games. You add a CJ and Ingram playing together. You'd think that they'd have hopes for a long run. They were first in the Western Conference, and people were ready to anoint them, but the Zion injury thing is real. And I bring up the second All-Star appearance because 2 All-Star appearances, 4 seasons. It's impressive, but I just hope it's not one of those things we'll look back at on his basketball reference page on the bio and say, oh, man, the guy just destroyed by injuries to begin his career. And a lot of it has been bad luck. It's random stuff. It's random, body parts, different injuries, and it's not just one thing that has caused him to miss all these games.
I couldn't remember how he had injured this hamstring, so I fired it up this morning. I'm like, what actually happened where he got the injury? And it was like him running up the floor. That was it.
Yeah.
Like not even like in full speed transition or anything. It was like I think maybe he was bringing up the ball, and then just like sort of like he tweaked it, and then I guess it happened again here, right? Because he was back on the floor here in practice and stuff like that.
He'd been playing
3-on-3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then re-aggravates it. So I guess that's a fairly common thing with a hamstring strain, but still sucks. He's only played 114 games in 4 seasons here. 114.
Yeah.
I mean, Mikal Bridges laughs at that. I'll play that in 1
83
year. Yeah.
season.
I mean, it's just a bummer. You're right, Taz. Especially because they were playing so well, and he was peeking in the MVP restaurant there for a week or two. What's going on in there? Is there a seat? I'm a big guy. I might need 2, but this is a bummer.
Yeah, I guess maybe the only silver lining for the Pelicans is Brandon Ingram has been okay lately. He's been over 50% from the field, putting 20 or more in every single night. The last 4 times he's been on the court. But like you said, Tess, 6-14 without Zion. Maybe the Pelicans won enough games before he went down to solidify a play-in spot. But I think there's an opportunity now for the Jazz maybe to stick around, for the Trailblazers, or for the Thunder to possibly be taking the Pelicans' spot here if they're not able to figure out how to get wins with Zion on the bench, because there's only 8 weeks left in the season. So how many weeks is he even going to play? If he's out for 4 of them, comes back for the last 4, they're trying to figure out how it looks with Ingram and McCollum all together. It was very much your turn, my turn when they were together, but they don't even have a big enough sample size to really know what they're doing, which all goes back to the trade deadline. This is why they only went for Josh Richardson. Yeah. They could not go all in for an OG Anunoby, not knowing if Zion was going to be back. Then it comes out that he's actually going down once again. Bad timing, bad stuff for the Pelicans. Hopefully he's able to get back because, like you're saying, it is random things, but it ain't somebody rolling into your leg like Kevin Durant, right? It's just muscle injuries that are happening when you're playing basketball, which is disappointing.
Yeah, I'm trying to be optimistic, but obviously every single injury that compounds the one before that, it makes you think that this is going to be inevitable for year in and year out with Zion. But yeah, you throw the random title on there just to keep things positive, I guess, as possible here, because it's obviously a huge downer.
They're 29-28 right now, so they sit in the 7th spot in the Western Conference. That's part of the play-in, of course, but the Wolves tied with them, basically there. Then the Warriors half a game back, then the Thunder 1 game back, then the Jazz 1.5 back, the Blazers 1.5 back. I mean, even the Lakers there, only 3 back from the Pelicans. I just wonder even if they continue to slide here, and it does help that they have BI there, but if they lose more than they win and they fall even further down here, I mean, will we even see Zion play again this season? Or do you say, well, they should be close, don't get me wrong, but do they say, what are we doing just to get them back in here and try and make noise in a play-in game and, maybe get into a first-round series and put up another fight like we did last year? I guess it's a possibility. I hope we see them back, but I wouldn't be shocked at this point if a month from now they're, way down there and they're like, all right, there's, we might as well just reset for next year. I think that's a possibility, right? With Zion.
Yeah, it just depends on the timeline.
Yeah. What do you got for a loser of the weekend?
Weird weekend for the Warriors, I think. Friday afternoon, the news dropped that Gary Payton II failed his physical after the trade that brought him to Golden State. Payton had apparently been playing through a core muscle issue in Portland. He had surgery during the offseason. Apparently wasn't totally healed, and the Blazers training staff had been pushing him to gut through it, giving him painkillers orally for the pain. This had not been relayed to the Warriors during the negotiation process, so they had until last night, to figure out if their 4-team deal that involved Sadiq Bey eventually going to the Hawks, $1 million second-rounders, James Wiseman to the Pistons. They had to decide if that was still going to go through while they're watching the Super Bowl. Stressful times. Saturday, Warriors face the Lakers. No Curry for Golden State, no LeBron for the Lakers. and another bad fourth quarter did Golden State in. They had the game tied with 5 minutes left, then didn't score for 3.5 minutes. An offensive foul on Jordan Poole under a minute sealed the loss. Lakers were really good in this game, defensively especially. They were playing on top of Golden State's three-point shooters, and they were just sagging off Draymond or Looney or anybody who couldn't shoot. Anthony Davis just waiting in the lane for the Warriors to try anything in there. Golden State shot 27% from three, took 12 free throws. No easy baskets, no easy cuts, no easy looks for Golden State. It's hard for the Warriors to be efficient when Curry ain't out there, especially when Wiggins is struggling, when Klay Thompson is struggling. I think Klay went 5 for 21 in this game. He could not buy a bucket. The loss, though, dropped the Warriors to 500 once again this season. They're 9th in the West. On Sunday, they did decide to go through with the Gary Payton, the second trade, but also still filed a complaint with Portland saying we're going to take this up in the summer, but we would rather have Gary Payton the second for the playoffs than having to pay $80 million to have James Wiseman around sitting on the bench. But Payton is still expected to miss a couple of months here. Like they're saying 2 or 3 months he's going to be out, and then they hope he's okay to play in the playoffs. So the Warriors this season have not been able to generate any sort of momentum on their season. They've never been more than, I think, 3 games above 500 at all this year. And the vet help they brought in to help, he ain't going to be there. So they traded somebody who wasn't in their rotation, got nothing back, and now they're going to be relying on a guy who's injured to step up in the playoffs. I don't know. The Warriors got Steph Curry. That helps. But this does not feel like their season.
I guess what they're thinking is just like last year where he got hurt. If you remember that breakaway play there against the Memphis Grizzlies, he got severely hurt, and he was able to come back in the postseason and make a difference like immediately. So they hope that he could just be a Gary Payton two more like one more time. I mean that's what they're hoping. They would rather have the vibes of Gary Payton. They rather believe in the defense that he can provide over trying to bridge these two eras with James Wiseman there. And it's got to please Steph and everybody at the top, like a Dre and Klay, that this guy will be playing in the postseason if he gets back healthy. And the weird thing is,
if they get to the playoffs,
let's
not gloss over that.
Yeah, sure.
Because honestly, we keep saying, and they deserve it because they're the defending champs, and they have Steph Curry and obviously Draymond and Klay and these guys that have won a bunch of rings, so they deserve for us to say, hey, don't forget about them. But at the same time, they are 500. Their main guy's injured. They don't look like world beaters by any means, and they are going to have to fight to get even in here, let alone then go on the road where they can't win and beat teams in playoff series. So I'm not saying I want to be the first to say they're done, bury them, it's over, see you later, dynasty, bye-bye Draymond, but holy crap, Trey's right. When they sometimes feel like they're getting it together, they have that little stretch, something bites them in the ass here, and maybe it's just not their year. Because I can't sit here and think they're going to beat a team like the Nuggets or the Grizzlies or something like that as currently constructed in a series, even though they're the champs, right?
Yeah, the weird part is they're in their play-in tournament team right now, and the weird part is that for them that Gary Payton II has been playing. But they obviously go through
played against the Warriors.
He played 14 of the last 16 games. He was playing 20 minutes a game.
Yeah, it's a real Carlos Correa situation. The guy can play, but you go deep on the medicals, and the core muscles aren't great. But they'd rather take this chance to help their team in the postseason, and they're sort of dedicated to the small ball route. Like they would play, a bunch of. They're going to be tiny once they do get healthy, but they'd rather go that route, have a center and a half with Kevon Looney and Draymond Green than get big, and then have Wiseman back there. And Gary Payton II came back in the finals and was able to help, and hopefully that can happen again for them. I mean, before then, obviously, before the finals. Let's not throw them in the finals quite yet. But Steph has to get back, and they got to get things together, obviously, yeah.
And so with the Warriors saying, we will readdress this shenanigans with this trade later on, they're going to get, a couple second-round picks back or something?
Probably.
Yeah.
As we saw during the trade deadline, second-round picks, just throw them around. Yeah, sure. We'll give you 2 back. Who cares?
Yeah, I find that weird, though. It's is the NBA going to review the medical history and say, yeah, that's all good? Because can any team just say, WTF with this guy, he's injured? give us some picks. I mean, they're going to go through a full investigation, I guess, to determine whether or not he actually is hurt. But I wonder if this hurts the reps of the Blazers, not only medical staff but front office staff, to throw out a guy who is injured enough to be injured, but can still play, but still injured.
It was very close to being super awkward for a couple of these franchises. Peyton going back to the Blazers, and we had talked about, like, he had some choice words on his way out, and I don't really want to be here, and maybe it had to do with all this injury stuff. And then Wiseman going back to the Warriors would have been strange. And then all these other teams involved in this, like, it got to the point where they couldn't even amend the trade and, like, remove some of those pieces. Like, it was over. So that meant, Sadiq Bey going back, and I guess Kevin Knox was a part of this whole thing. Yep. Like, really, really weird. But I think a big part of it in the end was that the cost-saving factor from the Warriors.
Yep.
Moving off of Wiseman and how much money that actually saves them. And then hoping that Gary Payton can give them something if they get into the play-in here, or get into the playoffs if they can fight their way in. All right, let's talk a little Super Bowl. Because I couldn't find many other losers of the weekend in the NBA, from being honest. Zion, Warriors, good one. Wasn't like a whole lot. It felt like, I think it was because of the schedule we had because of the Super Bowl. We only had 2 games on Sunday there. We had a bunch of games on Friday and Saturday. We had a bunch of teams sort of splitting, though, so it's always difficult to give them an L. But let's talk about that football game. Why don't we just give a loser of the weekend to that defensive holding call that ruined the Super Bowl for a lot of people?
I know people hated it. They were going to win anyways. They're going to kick a field goal.
They're going to win anyway.
Oh, they got jobbed earlier in the game, too. There was a pass interference that they didn't get when they were down 14-7. They fought through. Mm-hmm. They fought through.
It was a great game. I mean, the disappointing part is it ended like that, because this was like
that was an amazing
obviously
game.
A fun game where the Kansas City Chiefs come back. They win their second Super Bowl in 4 seasons, 38-35. But 3rd and 8, less than 2 minutes to go, Mahomes throws one in the end zone way over the head of it was Juju, right?
Yep.
Smith-Schuster, and then it's called back, defensive holding, because they got the flag on the play there. And it would have been different because they probably kicked the field goal. Eagles down 3 with a lot of time to play with, and Hurts had a good game, so who knows what happens then. But just a tough one for the season to be decided on a call. Now, I think the guy that got called for it, James Bradbury, he admitted, I did hold him, but I just didn't think they would call it. I mean, fair. He did. He definitely holds them, but it just is like one of those ones, like, that sort of just sucks. But entertaining game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the real losing play to me was the shanked punt.
Yeah.
The shanked punt. Backup punter. Who knew it was going to come into play? Shanks a punt 35 yards, kicks it the wrong way, so the guy has to go the complete other side of the field, which allowed, Kadarius Toney to set up the wall perfectly. Got down to inside the 5-yard line. That, to me,
longest
really
punt return in
that was awesome.
Super Bowl
history.
That
was wicked.
That surprised me.
Yeah, that was a nice Super Bowl. But it's like when the All-Star game comes down to free throws to win the Elam ending. You're like, well, this is one of the risks. It was a hold. Casey was going to score. I'm with you. We just didn't get a chance to see Jalen Hurts try and drive him back the other way, and he was awesome last night too.
Yeah, they were able to kill the clock.
Well, the hilarity of, like, the Eagles are like, go ahead, score. And he's like,
slide.
No, I'm just going to go down at the 1-yard line, kill some more clock here, and then we'll kick the field goal.
It was funny. But listen, Eagles, stop giving away the ball. I mean, they're doing some fumbling, bumbling. And also, there was that overturned call where it should have been a fumble, where... it was a reception.
Ball, yeah.
What is a reception?
Oh, my God.
If you're not a football fan like you see every week that what comes up. What is a catch?
Yeah, totally.
That was the case of what is a catch. The guy caught it. He turned with 1 foot, 2 feet, but you need to travel. You need 3 steps before you. So
silly.
So they gave him the ball back.
Yeah.
So there was lots of weird things that happened. The Eagles go for it on 4th down, though. That's cool.
Yeah, a lot.
That's awesome. They score a lot of points on that.
They just do the thing where the guys go like rugby style.
Oh, my God.
The offensive line, they just drop, and then everybody comes behind and just pushes Hurts, push him forward.
Can't hit a quarterback, but that guy wants to be hit.
You're allowed to hit a quarterback if he's your teammate from behind, if it gets you an inch. What'd you think of Rihanna?
So good.
One of the best?
One of the greats.
I agree. That was an awesome performance.
The floating stages, that last shot of her on the top stage with like the fireworks going on in the background. So many songs. Rihanna has so many bangers. She barely did Rude Boy. It was just like an interstitial. I'm walking over to this side of the set. It's playing in the background. She didn't do Disturbia. She did a Kanye West song, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is totally a Rihanna song. That was awesome.
JD, you got any thoughts on the Super Bowl, or especially Rihanna and the production of it all?
The production of Rihanna was amazing. Like, incredible. I thought it was like a video game. It looked like a video game. Looked like the
Super
old
Smash Brothers?
Joust or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
The
I'm dating
platforms.
myself, but yeah, the platforms. I mean, it was amazing. Yes, lots of songs. I would argue one song. She just did a medley, and it felt like a medley. And it's just, there was no, other than the visual, I mean, she's amazing. But, you know me, I'm going to shit on it a little bit. It's,
Because they're not
songs are
playing the
similar.
entire song? I don't really get what you're saying.
No.
here.
I don't mind that. Play a portion of a song,
Yeah.
but, like, I wanted some set changes. Like, last year, there were different set pieces. People came, it was the same set, but there were different levels of, pardon the pun, but, it was just, I felt like I was going from, okay, now I'm in this song. I'm like, I'm halfway through, like, the next song before I realized, oh, yeah, this is a different song. And then, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. It just felt like a tribute to Rihanna, which it is. That's what it's supposed to be. But I would have just liked a little bit of,
Oh, I thought last year's looked so cheap, so lame. The houses, this was way cooler looking.
Oh, I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I just felt like there was different, more people came out. There was like the whole night was just a circle jerk of nostalgia with all the commercials and stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Jay-Z was in the building. I mean, why not? Like, why not throw him
he
in
was
there?
good. He had just rapped for 4 minutes straight at the Grammys last week. I think he was done. Because that's
I
who
didn't realize he was on a rap minutes
He's on a minutes
restriction.
restriction. He's on a bars restriction.
I mean, at the end of God did. He just raps and raps and raps. You want a key that doesn't change. That's what happens in God did.
Yeah, fair enough.
But anyway, the choreography, the dancers.
Oh,
were
100%. Look,
ridiculously
I thought
good.
it was amazing.
JD, the production of it was like, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I felt like such a nerd going, the production is amazing.
Yeah.
The camera work, they're not missing a beat.
Yeah.
I was like, because it was like a lot of like, floating camera. I don't know,
Totally.
were they doing drones? I don't know what they were doing to get up on the platforms. Obviously, the sky cameras or whatever, but they knocked that out of the park.
Totally. Hey, man, I loved it.
All right.
I'm saying I loved it, but
You wanted a key change. I mean, most of
Not a key
Rihanna's songs,
change,
though.
Her songs do, they
I
blend together, I guess.
It's just all the same tempo. It's like, okay, fine. Well, whatever. Like,
The
it's not for me.
I thought the
we'll
dancers
get it.
were able to change the vibe at times.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know
Not
what I
much.
liked?
Not by much.
You know what I did like? Because I always hate this. When they bring out fans as if it's like a real crowd.
Yeah.
So happy they got rid of that.
Yeah.
crowd. I hate when they do that. Because it never fills the the field. Because they can only bring out like 100 people. To
Well,
like,
they would have all been falling all over the place. Everybody's slipping on that grass.
I was just so
Yes,
happy they
right.
got rid of that. And I feel like they've gone away from that over the last couple. Good.
Yeah.
Don't.
And
Bring
I-
more dancers out in their funny costumes.
Totally.
Fantastic.
I mean, what did we think about the parkas? Like,
Oh, I loved it.
it was cool.
You know what I liked? You couldn't tell they were like, it was like unisex. It was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, who is it, a man, a woman, does it matter? Who cares? This
Well,
looks
then they
cool as
started
shit.
getting hot, and you could.
Well,
they were
yeah.
taking them off.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my god,
Pull out your
how
belly.
long
It
is
was-
this?
I thought it looked incredible.
I agree.
That was one of my favorites. Especially with the bangers that she has. There was not one, I mean, you can argue about key changes and style changes and stuff. Every song she played last night was amazing.
She has many hits.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's
She was pregnant.
she's great, and she's pregnant.
Again.
Pregnant.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome, man.
That was my favorite part of the night. The WhatsApp chat debating whether she is pregnant, right? Yeah, I think she's pregnant. She's touched her belly like 4 times.
She's rubbing it.
Yeah. But I guess she did just have a kid not that long ago, so I think that was
Yeah.
the confusing part.
That's how kids work, yeah.
Yeah.
She just had one, so.
Well, she's married to a man named ASAP.
Yeah. Let's get this going. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Pregnant women can do anything. And that includes ramming in like 18 songs into 13 minutes or whatever. Like that was a tight set.
Bitch Better Have My Money, the opening song.
No,
Surprised.
Good,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
odds.
yeah.
10 to
Did not
1,
see that
11 to
one
1
coming.
odds or something like that. You could have bet on. Apparently, purple was the Gatorade too
Purple
last
Gatorade,
night,
yeah.
which was also had really high odds. Yeah, didn't see it. I don't remember on the broadcast though. I feel
I
like
only
they
saw
missed
pictures,
it.
yeah, pictures afterwards.
Yeah.
I think one of the Kelsey brothers had said that the Eagles used yellow lemon lime Gatorade, which sent the books going crazy. Wow, you revealed that information? Then they didn't win. Yeah.
Turns out you need to win.
Gotta win.
Kelsey brother or JD, I mean, the Eagle Kelsey. The
Hell of a beard.
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah,
He's a
JK.
Jason.
JK.
Was that his mom he was hugging at the end there?
Donna.
Did you see it? Yeah, Donna.
Yeah, she was a big star.
That got me. That got me right there.
Gotcha.
Like, what do you root for as a dad, you know? Like, oh, there was twins playing in the finals of the men's singles of the pickleball tournament this
Against each
weekend.
other?
Against each other.
Whoa.
Johnson versus Johnson.
Twins.
It was like identical twins.
Whoa.
It was like if you were playing a video game and both guys picked the same character
Yeah.
and then just dressed
Yeah.
them slightly differently.
It's Ryu and Ken.
Right.
Did they try and do a halftime pickleball show to rival the Super Bowl halftime act?
No, it was lame. Lame as hell this tournament.
Did anyone have a favorite commercial from the bunch? Any that stuck out to you?
Okay,
What would you think of the Tubi commercial where everybody went to grab the remote control? Like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, sure. I guess it was Coinbase last year did like the bouncing
Yep.
DVD thing. There's always one that's like supposed to throw you off.
Yep,
And if
yep.
it works, it works. But I'm with JD. It felt like a nostalgia fest. It was just like every commercial basically was we're bringing back this person who you know to do what they do. Like John Travolta came back. You know, we had Will Ferrell go through every Netflix show.
Yep.
We had P. Diddy.
Danny McBride.
Downey McBride,
Downey
yeah. So
McBride.
for me, my top two were Adam Driver's Squarespace. Website that makes websites.
Yes.
The singularity. Just weird. Just
Very
a nice
weird.
commercial.
Very weird.
And then premature electrification I thought was good as well.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. But they're losing their luster. Super Bowl ads are losing their luster. Prices are going up. So you're spending a lot of money on celebrities and every ad's the same at this point. Where's the love? Give me some frogs that talk. Give me a horse playing football.
Yeah.
Too many dog ads.
There were a couple.
Yep.
Oh, the one got me though.
Of course.
Quite
That's why they do
emotional.
it.
Of
That's why they
course.
do it.
Yeah. I don't really remember what it's for. I guess one was for food.
Yeah, dog food.
The dog
You want
food.
your-
Farmers?
You want your
Oh, yeah,
dog,
the
you want your
dog
dog to
aging.
live long?
Yeah,
The
that
dog
guy.
aging, man, that got me.
Yeah.
It's like looking at my dog. Oh, God. I literally turned it over. I was like, oh, I guess we got to buy that dog
Yeah,
food.
right?
I don't even know what it's called. I think farmer's dog.
Farmer's
Farmer's
dog, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite, JD, of all the
Me, I
commercials?
like the Breaking Bad one was great, I thought. The pop chips or whatever.
Popcorners.
Popcorn.
I think I missed this one.
It was like right before the kickoff, even, I think.
Was it?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it was
probably
one
why
of the
I missed it.
firsties. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, okay.
Look
That's
that
great.
one
Have to
up.
look that one
People
up.
need to eat popcorners. They're good. Not an ad.
Yeah, they are pretty good, actually.
They are good. Yeah, you have them in your house from here. In your house from time to time,
Yeah,
JD.
they show up from when they're on sale at Costco. Yeah, Jesse Pinkman's there. I won't spoil the ending for you.
Don't, it's fine. Don't worry.
What's his name? Tuco shows up,
Oh, wow.
and of course the great Bryan Cranston. It's amazing. It was very, very good, and big night for Canada. I'm not talking about the Crown Royal thing. It's like whatever, but you got Sarah McLachlan. Okay,
Yeah.
in a tent, in a terrible commercial.
That was a
and it was
bad
very, very
commercial.
bad. But hey, it was nice to see her, and I like seeing Canadians get paid. So
Sure.
great. You got safety dance, Men Without Hats, playing in that another awful commercial with the dude just dancing in front of the fountain. The
Oh,
old guy.
yeah. That was a weird one.
That was a debate in our house. Did they just find that guy, or did they just bring in a cavalcade of old people to dance in front of them in the audition?
I forgot about
Jackson
that one.
was like, they probably just found him on the street.
What? No, I don't think that.
I don't think either, but he's 14. He doesn't know.
Okay.
And then there was also that Len song was in a commercial. I can't remember.
Steal
which
My
one.
Sunshine?
Steal My Sunshine showed up in one of the commercials. And I was like, okay, they're getting paid.
Wow.
So Men Without Hats getting paid. Sarah McLachlan getting paid. Len getting paid. And Len hasn't been paid in a while. Let's be honest.
And then the Crown Royal with.
And the Crown Royal was a nice little
Thanking Canada.
hat tip. I saw a lot of people going, cringe. This is a Canadian company is thanking itself for all the Canadians. It's like, all right, fuck off. Dave Grohl's good in it, though.
He's great at it.
He's funny. He's got some chops. He's got chops.
He does.
What did Jackson think about the Pizza Hut commercial where they built the pizza that looks like a football field, the size of a football field? Was it an actual pizza, or is it just CGI?
He didn't see that one.
Oh, it aired like 5 times, I thought.
Yeah, but he was in and out. He was in this Classic Factory playing Call of Duty with his friends half the time. So he would come in and then go back and then come in and go back. The biggest pop for me, actually, the only commercial that I was actually like, God damn it, now I have to go see this, is The Flash.
Oh.
Michael Keaton showing up.
That was crazy.
That was like, I actually, the Leo meme, like.
Oh, yeah, that got you, eh?
Speaking of nostalgia, sometimes it gets me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, if you want to hear more football talk like this, but much, much better, check out the Athletic Football Show with Robert Mays and Nate Tice, breaking it all down. Incredible season from them. The only football podcast I listen to.
I listened to it live last night.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
I saw Robert almost knock his mic off, talking with his hands.
Oh, that'll happen to the best
That
of
was
us.
great stuff.
All right, we'll check that out. Any other football thoughts? Any other super commercial thoughts?
I think we're good.
Did you wear a hat like this, like in honor of Rob Lowe?
What?
Rob
What
Lowe?
is the question again?
I had in honor of Rob Lowe.
No, I mean, you
Noted
don't wear a
hat
hat
wearer.
all that often on the show. I
Yeah, it
thought
was a
maybe it was
surprise hat.
football
It's a surprise
inspired,
hat,
the
yeah.
classic Rob Lowe with just the NFL logo where he looked like an official.
No, I dress like Rob Lowe around Halloween, if you remember that. I do, yeah, I do. I wore a hat then.
Okay.
It was an NBA logo hat.
Oh, yes.
I own one of those. I also own this one,
Okay.
so I wore it today. I had a little bit of a bedhead thing going on. It was a bad hair day.
Yeah, sure.
Put on a
Nice.
You getting a new cut before All-Star Weekend?
hat. Yeah, same time as you. I saw you put it in the calendar
I
yesterday.
put that in for you. Because you had put it in, I guess, incorrectly for us a couple of weeks ago. But I think it was helpful.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're not doing a second show tomorrow. I got to get a haircut.
Gotta get a haircut.
Oh, you could do one without me. I mean, go nuts. But anyway, hey, Patrick Mahomes, GOAT. Too early, right?
Nah, he's going to be the GOAT.
There it is.
Yeah,
Those
lock
are
it
the
in. This
takes.
guy's incredible, man. This guy, I will say that Patrick Mahomes has the best highlights in sports. Nobody has cooler highlights than Patrick Mahomes doing stuff. And he didn't even have a great game last night,
No, he didn't.
all things considered. But man, like when you look at his, like the pregame reels of stuff he's doing, that doesn't look like something that should be happening in the biggest, baddest sport out there.
Yeah, and he said coming into this game that he doesn't feel like he played well in those first 2 Super Bowls. He's going to say the same thing about this one because he was injured out there. So,
Was he?
come on.
Scramble. What a scramble.
Was he, Tass?
He wasn't 100%.
They were sandbagging us, man.
He wouldn't even have a good game. He can be way better
Why
than
would they do? Why would he do that?
Why? Because, man, then the opposition, this
they
guy,
think we
he's
got
not going to
this.
be able to roll out of the pocket.
I'm as much as a conspiracy
kidding, I
theorist
don't
as the
care.
rest of us. He was limping.
I watched that replay 100 times.
Oh, man,
It
the
looked
ankle got
like it.
crunched.
Yeah.
Crunched up.
Yeah,
And it was already injured.
He had Rihanna to thank. Nice, long performance.
Yeah, no doubt.
Get some treatment in there.
They did show
Changed
the
up game plan.
original injury, right? Somewhere during the broadcast, because that was a thing you could bet on. And I thought, of course they're going to show that. But the odds were pretty
I
good
don't
that
think-
they...
I don't remember seeing
I don't remember
the-
seeing it.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
Weird. Now that you can think of as a conspiracy because the odds were
Was that game on
was
CBS?
too good. They couldn't show it.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Possible.
I have
They couldn't
no
show
clue.
a highlight of a
I
guy
have
getting
no
injured.
clue.
Anyway, cool.
All right, well,
good game.
Yeah, great game. Football.
I was interested.
Are you guys pumped for the USFL?
No!
Season 2, man.
Get out of here. We don't need
Fox
5
is really
football
trying to
leagues.
push
There's like
that.
5 football leagues. There's an XFL, a USFL, another FL, and another FL,
The CFL.
and a CFL.
No, CFL was played last night. Challenges Football League.
Oh!
It was better. It was better the second time.
That's all I do. Challenge. What'd you catch?
Yeah, it felt good being an
kidding. I
NBA
enjoyed the
fan.
game.
Everybody complaining about NBA officiating. There's people complaining about NFL officiating. That was great.
Don't forget the fan-controlled Football League
That's
that
another one.
I've been to. You call the plays. I think it's still going.
It's still going.
Is it? Good. There's a lot of football.
There's a rival baseball controlled league happening.
it's
There's
coming.
You call the pitch. Tell the pitch. Well, I don't know. Maybe. I
throwing a
think
slider.
that's what happens. There's too many leagues.
I think they're gonna try it with basketball too. So.
Oh no, it's not baseball. It's basketball. That's what I
Yeah,
was
they're
thinking.
gonna do like the light up floor apparently that I've been talking about. Anyway, let's take a break. When we come back, pick 'em results. Tweet of the night. Don't go anywhere.
I did a little online shopping the other day. I bought a sweater that has a shawl collar. A shawl call. Better call shawl. No matter what your goods are, hopefully they're legal. Keep yourself competitive with ShipStation. In a landscape where free and fast shipping is the norm, it can be hard for smaller e-commerce businesses to compete. When you use ShipStation, you can lower shipping costs, make returns easy, and keep your customers happy. Shipping costs are the #1 cause of abandoned carts. I only bought my shawl call because I got to that free shipping threshold. It's the only way I was going to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
And it got to me just in time. I hope to be wearing that shawl call in Salt Lake City this weekend. It's going to be a perfect fit. Cold weather, warm neck. Anyways, it saved me from being worried about what I'm wearing. And with ShipStation, all the time you save from automating your shipping tasks will help you stop worrying. Running a business can be stressful, but using ShipStation isn't. There's a free trial and quick setup, so now's the time to try it out. ShipStation makes it easy to grow your business by handling your orders from every marketplace in one dashboard. ShipStation effortlessly integrates everywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and more. Automate routine shipping tasks, print shipping labels, easily compare rates and delivery time to optimize your every shipment and automate delivery notifications. Get up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. And if that's not enough, use this promo code to try it out free for 2 months. Use promo code NODUNKS today at ShipStation.com to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, promo code NODUNKS. Keep growing your business all year long with ShipStation.
I'm getting a little worried about what to pack for Salt Lake City. Leaving on Thursday. It's obviously cold, but is there like snow everywhere? Do I gotta wear boots?
Snow on the forecast
I really
for tomorrow.
don't want to bring boots.
I'm probably only bringing boots.
I know.
Yeah, we might have snow on the ground. I guess it's possible.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Don't forget your snowshoes, of course.
Wow. You gonna bring your skis? You wanna hit the slopes?
Yeah.
JD, you're hitting the slopes.
I've got a
aren't you?
set of skis that I'm gonna bring for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm not going skiing.
You're going.
I was invited skiing.
You're going drinking on the slopes.
Well, I might have a few cocktails. You never know.
Good for you.
But,
you deserve it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
But no skiing, no snowboarding.
No skiing. I don't want to injure myself. It's been literally 20 years since I went skiing.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah. And these are actually world-class slopes. And also, my friend who invited me is like, he lives for skiing. I will be on the blue runs maximum.
Holding them back.
Yeah, exactly. So be self-conscious the whole time.
Yeah, you're meeting up with a friend that you haven't seen in person in 30 years?
Just over 30 years.
That's incredible.
I know. So much has happened.
Hey, what you doing?
Hey, let's catch up.
It's like you're going to be able to talk about Michael Keaton as Batman in the first time and then him coming back.
Exactly.
I mean, wow.
What'd you think of Conan O'Brien, this new guy replacing David Letterman? Pretty good, right?
Wow. We got so much to talk about. You guys are going to have so many drinks.
You see Avatar?
Okay, pick 'em results. Friday night, which feels like an eternity ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah. It was the Wolves-Grizzlies game. Memphis was favorited by a lot, 8.5. I took them. I swerved a little bit. You guys had the Wolves. I was left to pick the Grizzlies, and it worked out for me. They dominated that game. Was getting ready to have the Grizzlies as a winner of the weekend if they could have pulled off the victory against Celtics on Sunday, but nope, they split it. So win for me though. I'm 3-5. Trey falls to 3-5. Tass falls to a very respectable right now, 5-3. What's tonight's game?
We're going to MSG. The battle in New York. Nets, Knicks. Knicks are favored, just a small little line, 2.5. But that's enough for me to pick the Nets. I think this tough defense is going to keep them in it against the New York Knicks. You guys think the Knicks will win by 3 or more, so they cover. I got a couple points to play with. Cam Johnson versus Cam Thomas. And we'll be doing the Cam on playback.
Oh, yeah, we're doing playback tonight.
Yeah, we'll be watching this game with a whole other slew of games going on. We'll be jumping around, so jump over.
Okay.
Check the link below. It's easy. It's free, sort of. But it's free to get an account and
free to get an
watch
account.
the game with us. Yeah, just got to enter your info from your subscriber, your TV or online subscriber. Boom, boom, you're watching the game with us. Again, a great slate tonight. I threw that one as the main one because I'm looking forward to seeing what Jalen Brunson does against the Nets. But at the same time, the Nuggets Heat are going on.
Okay. That's a
good one.
Yeah, we got lots of good ones going on.
All right. We've been on a decent run, too, where we get a lot of close games on playback. So come join us tonight. What time? 7:30? We're just getting started?
7:30, we're getting started.
All right. We'll go for a couple hours. And yeah, Tass said it. The link there is in the show notes. Sign up for free and then log in and hang with your boys tonight. Okay, let's get to Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow. Twitter.
Well, Josh Hart has joined Isaiah Hartenstein on the Knicks. 2 Harts on the New York Knicks, the trade deadline. Hart coming over from the Blazers. So Hartenstein posted an image of him and Josh photoshopped on the original Hart Foundation. If you remember old Brett and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, rest in peace, Jim.
Yeah.
With the caption, "The new Hart Foundation is Isaiah and Josh, the Hart and Hartenstein combo." Gave this to you, Skeets, because I know you love wrestling.
I love this. I love Tibbs there as, Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
North of the South. Ice! Ice! That's all he yells.
That totally skipped my brain that Jimmy Hart was another Hart, and he was part of it.
Yeah.
But he was a manager for so many.
Yeah.
The mouth of the South.
That's right.
With the megaphone. Shout out to New York Basketball for reposting this from Isaiah.
Attention to detail on that Photoshop. I like the little nicks on the belt there.
Yeah.
Those are cool belts.
They look cool in the shades, man. NBA players should be allowed to play in sunglasses and singlets like that.
Hartenstein's got a Matt Austin look to him, doesn't he?
Yeah, especially with the shades on for sure. I don't think their eyes look alike.
No,
but you put their sunglasses on.
Exactly.
Does Josh Hart have a beard? I guess.
I think he's got that. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got like
okay.
a little
I think so.
goatee.
I see both of these guys, and I'm not sure if either one looks like them.
Well,
or if that's them.
Hart.
Hair.
Josh Hart, with the Bret Hart hair is pretty funny. The greasy hair.
Yeah, speaking of that, I was watching the Celtics game on Sunday, and I thought I saw Bret Hart in the crowd behind Joe Mazzulla. See there on the left?
I saw this, Tass.
There he is.
I saw this and thought this.
Is that him? He's wearing a camouflage hat. He's got long hair. He's got an earring. Come on, that's him.
Not him, but
It's like Ric Flair beside him.
no.
Ric Flair.
I recently saw him.
Well, Coach Mazzulla looks like Jesse from Survivor.
Ooh, yeah,
It's the
a little
eyes.
bit.
You can't not unsee it once you see it, man. I'm telling you. Oh, man.
It looks like a couple mafia guys there with
Yeah.
Bret Hart.
They look like some Boston guys for sure.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the actor there, the late great Michael Constantine. That's who that looks like.
The guy on the far left.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Brett the Hitman Hart. Well, we got the Elimination
It
Chamber.
does
It's
look
got to
like
be right
Bret
around
Hart.
the corner.
JD said, I zoomed in on who I think was Bret Hart. You zoomed in on the right man.
Awesome.
He looks the most like Bret Hart.
But it's funny you say that, JD, because I think there are parts of both those guys that look a little like Bret Hart to me. Who's old now? That's the thing. Bret Hart's not a spring chicken anymore. How old is he? How old is
Bret Hart's, he's got to be old.
Yeah, man.
Like, I think Bret Hart's old enough that Isaiah Hartenstein and Josh Hart never watched the Hart Foundation.
Bret Hart's 65.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, that guy's old.
Holy crap. Didn't know that. I thought he was a little younger than that. Bret Sergeant Hart.
Is his real name?
Yeah. Surge. Surgeon. That's his real name.
It's not Sergeant? That's weird.
Oh, I'm probably saying it wrong. Well, yeah, I guess Sergeant.
Sergeant.
Yeah, the reason is here's the reason why. I didn't have my window fully open, so it looks like Bret Surge Hart. And then when I opened it, I still had Surge in my head and went with Sergeant. Bret Sergeant Hart.
He retired in 2011.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe the Hearts have seen the Hearts. The fake Hearts have seen
Oh,
the real
Come
Hearts.
on, for sure. They know of them. All right, great tweet of the night. Guys, get your tickets to our live show this Friday. Oh my goodness, in Salt Lake City. There are a few new jerseys still available. Go to nodunks.com for them. Send in your questions. I think we'll hit the beach in the upcoming days here before we head off to Salt Lake City. No Dunks at theathletic.com. Tweet them in at No Dunks Inc. Drop them in the YouTube comments if you want to do that as well. And we'll see you tonight for a little playback, starting with the Nets Knicks, and we'll bounce around. The maestro of the remote, Tass Millis.
It's a huge slate this evening.
Oh, how big are we talking?
Slate.
How many games?
I think it's a dozen.
Oh, it's because we only had 2
6,
yesterday.
7,
Yeah,
8,
yeah.
9, 10, maybe one short.
11 ski. Nice.
Woo! Okay, lots of games to watch. We'll see you on playback, and we'll be back tomorrow morning to break down as many as possible. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Well, thanks for joining us, and remember, just got to be honest. 2-time MVP going into Miami. It's on national TV, NBA TV. That should be the game we're watching, but I got a bias against the Heat. I don't find them all that enjoyable. Is that just me? Is that just
Close
me?
games, but they're dogfights.
Their offense.
Yeah.
It's a slog.
Yeah.
Sloggy. Should be a close one, though.
That's right.
Agreed.
I'm thinking 41st clutch game tonight for the Miami Heat.
Wow, he's calling it now. We'll find out tonight. We'll see you then. Brace the day, people.